Hey everybody, how are you? It's Simon here, and welcome to Sunday's 10 a.m. live stream, courtesy of all the lovely folks at Patreon who support my guitar channel, Simon Morel Guitar, and also Aussie Guitar Lessons Weekly. I really do appreciate all you guys. Thanks so much for all your help in supporting me and allowing me, I guess, enabling me to be able to do all this free content for people all over the internet. So today I had a question from Steve, and it's a bit of an unusual one. Usually I do sort of a Q&A sort of thing, but he said, can you show us a few riffs that you think every guitar player should be able to play? So what I did, I went through the database of the riffs in my head, and I tried to pick out the things that I reckon I played the most, you know, things that I really, really love playing. And I put together a little chart so you can kind of see everything as we do it. And we'll see how we go this morning. This is a bit of an unusual thing to do actually a live kind of lesson, but I thought I'd give it a go. So first up, we are going to have a look at Eric Clapton or Derek the Dominoes, Layla. Now, instead of learning the top riff, that one on there, I really think the cool riff in this tune is the one that kicks the whole song off. So we're in the key of D minor, right? And that part of the riff is actually the fourth position of the minor pentatonic in D minor. So we're going to hit an open A, hammer, hit an open D, hammer, pull off, play a C, and then hit a D. Right. So you basically get this at the beginning. Now, hopefully you've got your guitar in your hands and you can have a bit of a go at that. So I'm going to go down, up, down, up with my right hand. So, all right. So, now, as always, with all these riffs, the best way of practicing is just to practice little bits at a time. So don't try and grab the whole thing, just try and grab this bit. Right, now, let's see if I can use my magic to show you the chart. And here we go. So beautiful, look at that. Okay, so what we've had so far is just this part of the tune. So we've got... Now, I don't know how you are with the reading of the music, but you can see here that this is a 2-beat rest and this is a half-beat rest, okay? So we've got and a 4E and a 1, right? So the best way of doing this is just try and count yourself in or have it playing in your head, up to you. But if you count 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1 and a 4E and a 1. So even say and a 4E and a 1 to kind of get it in your head. Right. Okay. So that's the first part. Now, as we run through that, when we hit the open D on the 1 of the bar here, it gives you time to get from this position to this position. Okay? So practice that next. So you're going to go. So you get. And then you slide. Now what you'll notice when I played the power chord here, this D5 here, I actually had 1 and 4, my pinky there, because in a second we're going to use my third finger to play some other stuff. All right, so you've got, and we come down. All right, so flat. So that riff, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1, 2, right. Always try and have the thing playing in your head. It will really help with how musical you're sounding. All right. Now, we've got. Then we're going to play an open A, and then your third finger is going to play a G. All right. So I just played these two notes here. Let me just have a look and see if we've got any questions questions along the way. I'll try and answer all the questions that we have along the way. So if you do feel like adding a comment, please do. There's only me here, so I might not grab it straight away, but do let me know just in the chat there. So then we've got A and G, and then we've got a C, C5, all right? So that little section we're going to play, let me just grab that there for you. So we've got open A, G, C, and then finish off at D. So that section there, we've got a slide, open, G, C, open A, G, D. All right. So really, the whole kind of thing is this, right? 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Okay? And then it just loops a lot, right? Okay, so that is riff number 1. Now, I should add, if you want the chart for this sort of thing and you're not already a Patreon, you will be able to get that after the live stream at patreon.com/Simon Morel. Look at this. So high tech nowadays. Unbelievable. All right, so that is riff 1. Now, have we got any questions? Have we got any questions? Sounds brilliant. First choice, great. Thanks, Blake. Thanks, Paul. Really appreciate that. Now, sounds-wise, all I've got going on here is Stratocaster, back pickup. I've got a Boss Blues driver, which is pretty standard low overdrive pedal, really low. Like it's at so the gain thing is like a 2 or something, right? And I'm going into a Marshall Origin 20, which is quite a cheap sort of tube head thing, which I use predominantly for teaching and all that sort of thing. I've got it kind of pre-pumping, so you can hear that you've got, but it's not a mental sound, right? I think the big thing about learning riffs and playing riffs with overdrive on them is actually just to not put that much overdrive on. Like if you think of some of the heaviest riffs ever, it's not because, unless you take the sort of super heavy metal stuff out, it's often not loads of overdrive, and people often tend to overuse the overdrive because they feel it sort of sounds heavier, or I find it just hides the playing a little bit, to be honest. So if you can have a sound, you can hear that, it's a pretty good sound, right? So that is how the sounds and all that sort of stuff work. Now we are going to go and have a go at the next one. So let's see what I chose. Let's see what I chose. Window. Okay, so the next one I chose is actually a Thin Lizzy tune called The Boys Are Back in Town. Now, at the beginning of the tune, you have like... Right? Now, this actually is an excellent riff for practicing the front of a major scale. Now, often guitar players, they learn the pentatonic stuff, right? Which is, and they kind of forego that kind of guitar playing. We're playing like a major scale. So this is A, B, C sharp, D, E. And actually this pattern is super malleable. You can use it all over the place. So in learning this riff, it'll be super helpful for you, I think, just generally. So you know what I mean? So let's kick it off. We basically have, like all great riffs, like a lot of great riffs have like a main part, and then it branches off to a slightly different sort of thing, okay? And this is no exception. we're going to go. Right. So we're starting there again on the 3.5. Weird, isn't it? So 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So we hit second finger on the D string at the 7th fret. We're going to hit that twice. You're going to hammer on with your pinky and then play. Right? And give it a bit of a wobble there. So you see it on my chart, you can see the wobble above here. Right? So we've got. Hit twice. Now, with the wobble, the trick of the vibrato on the guitar is not kind of this sort of thing where you've got your finger straight with the guitar and you're just kind of moving it. Let me just zoom in a little bit here. The trick of it is not to, do that. Just come to the side, almost that your finger is kind of touching the back of the guitar here, and have your whole hand still, right, locked in. And actually, where I'm moving from is actually the back of my hand, right? So you get this. Right? Okay. So we've got 7, 7, hammer, 6, 6, 7. Right. So that is the main part of the riff. Then we repeat exactly the same thing. And then the next one comes along, and we're going to play the E at the top. So there's the E, back to the A, and then so that E. Okay. And then so that last part is 7, 7, 7, 6, 9, and then it starts again. Right? So this kind of looping thing just makes it memorable, right? So once, twice. So the timing there is quite a tricky sort of situation. So the da la 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 la. Now the advantage of learning these riffs is that because you've heard them a few times, hopefully, you just have it in your head, like I say, and just let the song play in your head, and you can 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So sometimes the chart can scare students. If you're not super comfortable with reading this sort of stuff, it can actually put you off. So if you're finding that the case, the way to get over that is just practice it and look at it, and think about you've got just triplets there, right? Okay, so that is riff number 2. Do I need to say anything about that? Have we got any other questions? Let me just have a look here. This is when you do it all by yourself, you see what happens. So there are no more questions. No more questions on that? You sure? It's no problem. Just let me know. Okay, next one. We are going to have a look at another great 70s riff. Is it 70s? I think it's a 70s one. So I'm going to take the overdrive off here, and I'm actually going to go on the Stratocaster to the 4th position for a bit of Songs of Swing. Now, this guy is a chord genius. People think of guitar like, is he playing lead guitar? Is he playing? Oh, you go to a barbecue, and I go to a barbecue, and people go, oh, what do you do for a job? And I say, I'm a guitar player. And after they get over the thing, what do you really do for a job? And I say, no, I really play the guitar for a job. And then they sort of say, oh, would you play lead guitar or do you play rhythm guitar? Because I think in a lot of people's minds, they are separate entities. But actually, that's just not true. It's the same thing. And often with the great guitar players, they are really just playing chords often, right? So like even in the intro there, where you think this is a D minor, here I've got an A minor shaped bar chord at the 5th fret. So 5, 7, 7, 6, right? If you think of the intro of that song, it goes. Right? So you can see that, I mean, it's not played like that, but you can see that a lot of those notes anyway, you see what I mean? So very, very clever use. He's learnt his chords, he's learnt his arpeggios, he knows how all this, you know, and all of those arpeggios, like a sus, that's an A sus4 arpeggio. He's basically going, you see this here, it looks like a D. And then he goes, yeah, that's sus4, landing on A. It's just genius. The bloke's a genius. So now the other thing he does is he doesn't use a pick. So that is cool as well because it allows you to. So I'm going to use my thumb on the 4, 3, and 2, just like that. All right. Can you see that there a bit more clearly? Let's just zoom in. So, sorry, I've got them curled under there, so it's pretty hard to see. But right, there's my D minor. Now, I would advise that you play it like this instead of like, because it's too far and it won't be super fluent. Right? So let's just see. I'll just have a little double check for questions. The app you're using for your guitar, for your music and tab is almost identical to Tux Guitar. I don't know what Tux Guitar is, but this app I'm using is called Guitar Pro. I've been using Guitar Pro for maybe a year, and I was quite reticent to use a digital program to write the riffs and all that sort of thing. And I really, really regret that. I should have done this years ago. I used to handwrite all the charts up, and I was approached by a company to actually write charts for them, and they said I had to provide them digitally, obviously, so it's easy for them. I totally get that. And so I started using it, and it's brilliant. It's so cool for rehearsing and all that sort of stuff, and it's relatively inexpensive. I am an affiliate for Guitar Pro nowadays, so if you want to check it out or whatever, I'll put some links in the description in here, and please do use my link. It won't cost you any extra, but I get a clip of the ticket on the way through, and you know, every little helps. So that would be great. But it's really, really good to check out. It does a bunch of things which are very clever. And just why is it not doing that? Hang on, I think I'm pressing the wrong button. It does a bunch of things which are very clever. You can, you know, up here you can see that I've got this thing, and so I can actually slow the track down. So if I've got this sound. All right, so you know I can actually slow the whole thing down, highlight it, and it will play just that section so that and then you can have it loop. You see you've got a little loop thing. You can have a metronome playing all the time. Super awesome. I absolutely love it. It's actually been great for my practicing because you know I have to learn a whole bunch of stuff every week for a whole bunch of private students that I have, and there's songs that I just don't really know that well. So after I've written the chart and all that sort of stuff, it's been brilliant. Absolutely amazing program. I love it. Okay, so let's learn this riff. You stop banging on about this program. So like I mentioned, we are in D minor here. Right? So I've got a D minor chord, 6, 7, 7. Now, like I said, use those guys, right? And then I'm going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and my first finger bars those guys there, right? It is also awesome to kind of go just a little run. It's actually a pretty tricky technique. You're just kind of playing that, but quickly. Yeah, so you get D minor, and then same thing. He does this a bit. You'll hear it all over his work. So you get D minor, B flat. Now, why is that a B flat? I've never learned a B flat like that. Well, if you think about an A-shaped bar chord, there's your root, B flat, and there's there's the A-shaped bar chord. Okay, so we're just playing kind of partial chords. Right, and then we play D minor. There's a pause, and then we do a pull-off. Okay. So we get this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and right. Okay, so what I did there at the end is I just, and you can see here I've got 5, and I'm sort of sliding up to 10, and then play a little C. So this is an F because it's an A-shaped bar chord at the 8th fret, and then this is a C, like a C. Right? So B flat, D minor, C, F, C. And it follows the chords of the actual song, but because he's playing sort of these partial chords, you don't really notice it, and you think it's lead guitar, which is very clever. Very, very clever indeed. So let's just have a look at that again. We've got slide, 1, 2, and yeah, sorry. 1 and 2 and I know, it's so awesome. All right, so that brings us to the end of our little live lesson today. Do let me know what you thought of us doing kind of live lesson sort of thing. It's a bit of a new experience for me, this whole live situation. You know, I love to hear from you. So if you have any, Tux guitar is free for anyone, just FYI. I'm going to have to check out this Tux guitar, Jeff. Thanks so much for the tip there. I assume it sounds like a similar sort of thing. There's loads of these digital numbers, digital chart making numbers. Another one is New Score, which I think is free. And I did try that out for a while, but I did find it not as easy to write the charts in. It took me a lot longer than it does in Guitar Pro, that's for sure. Anyway, so now if you do want the chart that I've written for this lesson, just go over to, he says, patreon.com/Simon Morel, where you will be able to grab the chart, download the chart, and every single lesson I put here on YouTube, I have a chart for, which you can get there, and plans start from as little as $4 per month, which really $4 a month is not a great deal, and then you can get access to my whole chart library of over 3,000 charts at the $11 per month level. I do appreciate any support I receive over there. I can see that I've got Blake here in the chat, so thanks very much for that, and thanks to Jeff, Paul, who else we got here? Jeff and Paul for commenting on the lesson today. I really do appreciate it. If you're watching on replay, stick around and watch some more lessons here on my YouTube channel. I will see you later. Thanks so much, and all the best, and enjoy learning these tunes. Bye for now. Bye-bye.